Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mr. Jobs English podcast, the place where learning English feels natural, fun, and connected to real life. My name is Mia.
And I'm James. We're happy you're here with us today. If you want to improve your English while learning vocabulary connected to real jobs and real experiences, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. Today's episode is delicious, literally. We're talking about a job that everyone knows and everyone depends on because we all love to eat. Today's profession is the restaurant cook.
A restaurant cook. I love this one. Food brings people together, and cooks play a big part in that. And just to be clear, we're focusing on the cook who works in a restaurant kitchen, not a home cook.
Yes, in English, the word cook can refer to anyone who prepares food. But in a professional kitchen, there are different roles. And today, we'll explore those roles, the vocabulary used in kitchens, and how English is used behind the scenes in restaurants.
Before we go deeper, we want to ask for a small favor. If you're enjoying this episode, make sure to follow, give it a like, and share this podcast with a friend who is learning English. Your support helps us grow and continue creating more episodes for you.
Yes, thank you so much. And don't forget to leave a comment telling us which job you want us to talk about next. We really enjoy reading your suggestions. Now, James, are you hungry already?
Honestly, yes. Talking about cooks makes me think about food. But don't worry, I'll stay focused. Let's begin with a simple question for our listeners.
Here it comes.
What does a restaurant cook do?
A restaurant cook prepares meals for customers in a restaurant. They follow recipes, cook ingredients, manage food preparation, and make sure the dishes look and taste great.
Yes, and it's not just cooking. A restaurant cook also needs to keep the kitchen organized, clean, and safe. They work under pressure, especially during busy hours. There's a lot of teamwork in a kitchen.
Definitely. And speaking of teamwork, let's introduce a few important kitchen job titles used in North America. These are great vocabulary words for our listeners.
Good idea. Here are some key roles in a professional kitchen. Head chef or executive chef, the leader of the kitchen, responsible for menu creation and kitchen management. Example, the head chef created a new menu for the restaurant.
Sous chef, or the second in command, assists the head chef and supervises the kitchen. Example, the sous chef helped train the new cooks.
Line cook prepares food at a specific station in the kitchen. Example, the line cook worked at the grill station tonight.
Prep cook prepares ingredients before cooking begins. Example, the prep cook chopped vegetables for the salads.
And the word station is important. In a restaurant kitchen, each line cook has a station, which means they're assigned cooking area. There are different stations, like the grill station, salad station, or dessert station.
Right. And here's a simple example to help remember the word station. Jason works at the pasta station during lunch hours.
Now, before we continue, I want to add one more job title that is very common in North American kitchens: kitchen porter or dishwasher.
Yes, a kitchen porter or dishwasher cleans dishes, utensils, and equipment and helps keep the kitchen running smoothly.
Example, the dishwasher is essential for keeping the kitchen clean and organized.
Now, let's talk about where all of this happens, the kitchen. But in restaurants, people often use the word back of house, or BOH, to describe all the areas customers don't see.
And the opposite is front of house or FOH, which refers to the areas where customers dine, like the dining room, lobby, or bar.
Example sentences. Cooks work in the back of house. Waiters work in the front of house.
I remember the first time I heard the expression back of house. I thought it was a secret part of a building. But no, it just means the kitchen area and everything behind the scenes.
And kitchens have their own culture, expressions, and communication style. English used in kitchen environments is often quick and direct. You hear phrases like behind means I'm walking behind you. Hot means I'm carrying something hot. Corner means I'm turning up a corner.
Yes, those expressions help prevent accidents in a fast-paced kitchen. You don't want someone to bump into you when you're carrying a hot pan. So cooks speak loudly and clearly.
Let's give real examples. Behind, hot pan. Corner, coming through. Sharp when carrying a knife.
Safety is a big part of kitchen life. And speaking of that, let's introduce some basic kitchen tools and equipment. These are essential words for any English learner who loves cooking or works in a restaurant.
Agreed. Here are a few important tools. Knife, used to cut food. Cutting board, the surface you cut food on. Pan, used to fry or cook on the stove. Pot, used for boiling or cooking liquids. Spatula, used to flip or mix food. Whisk, used to mix ingredients, usually to make them smooth or add air.
And a very important acronym, PPE, Personal Protective Equipment. In kitchens, PPE can include gloves, aprons, and hairnets.
And don't forget chef coat, the white jacket many cooks wear. It protects them from heat and spills and makes them look professional.
Now, Mia, I want to ask you, have you ever worked in a restaurant kitchen?
Me? No. As a cook, no. But I worked as a server when I was a teenager, and I spent a lot of time near the kitchen. I always felt the kitchen energy was exciting and a little stressful. Laughs. What about you?
I actually worked as a prep cook in college for a few months. I chopped vegetables, cleaned ingredients, and prepared sauces.
Really? How did you survive the pressure?
Coffee. A lot of coffee.
Laughs.
But it taught me responsibility and speed.
Working in a kitchen truly requires speed, precision, and teamwork. And listeners, these are 3 great words to remember. Speed, how fast you work. Precision, how accurate and exact your work is. And teamwork, working well with others. Example sentences. Cooks need speed during busy hours. Precision is important when following recipes. Teamwork helps the kitchen run smoothly.
Now, before we go further, we should introduce some cooking verbs because cooks use them constantly. These verbs are essential for describing what happens in the kitchen.
Yes, here are some key cooking verbs. Chop, to cut into small pieces. Slice, to cut into thin pieces. Boil, to cook in hot water. Fry, to cook in hot oil. Bake, to cook in the oven. Stir, to mix with a spoon. Season, to add spices or flavors.
Let's add short examples. Chop. Chop the carrots into small pieces. Slice. Slice the bread before serving. Boil. Boil the water for the pasta. Fry. They fried the potatoes until they were crispy. Bake. Bake the cake for 30 minutes. Stir. Stir the soup so it doesn't stick to the pot. Season. Season the chicken with salt and pepper.
Good. Now, here's something interesting for our listeners. In North American kitchens, cooks often speak in short, quick English. For example, instead of asking, "Could you please chop the onions for me?" they might say, "Can you chop onions?" Or even more direct, "Chop onions, please."
Yes, kitchen English is fast and efficient because there's no time for long sentences.
Exactly. And now that we introduced vocabulary for kitchen jobs, kitchen areas, communication phrases, tools, and cooking verbs, we can start building a more natural conversation about a cook's daily routine.
Great idea. Let's imagine a typical day for a restaurant cook. From the moment they walk into the kitchen, what do they do?
Well, a cook usually arrives before the restaurant opens. They start with prep work, or prepping, as cooks say. That includes washing vegetables, cutting ingredients, and preparing sauces.
Example. The cooks are prepping for the lunch service.
After prepping, the cooks set up their station. That means they organize their tools, ingredients, and equipment so everything is ready for service.
Service is the time when the restaurant is open and serving customers. Example. We have a busy dinner service tonight.
During service, the kitchen becomes very active, like a performance. Each cook must communicate, move fast, and keep everything consistent.
If orders arrive quickly, we say the kitchen is in the weeds, a common expression meaning overwhelmed and very busy.
Example, we're in the weeds. We need more help in the grill.
I love that expression. Sounds like a cook lost in a garden.
And after service, cooks clean up, store ingredients properly, and prepare for the next day.
Now, something important. Good cooks also taste their food. They check seasoning, flavor, and presentation.
Yes, taste, flavor, and presentation are essential words for cooks. Let's use them in sentences. Taste, how food feels in your mouth. Try the soup before serving. Flavor, the combination of tastes and smells. The sauce has a strong garlic flavor.
Presentation, the way food looks on the plate. Presentation matters in fine dining restaurants.
And that brings us to different types of restaurants. Because a cook working in a fast food restaurant has a very different experience from a fine dining chef.
Absolutely. Here are some restaurant types. Fast food, quick service, simple menus. Casual dining, relaxed restaurants with table service. Fine dining, high-quality food, elegant atmosphere, expensive meals.
Example sentences. He works at a fast food restaurant. She got a job in a casual dining Italian restaurant. He dreams of working in a fine dining kitchen. I once worked in a casual dining restaurant, and the kitchen was like a comedy show. People were yelling, joking, dancing, and somehow still cooking perfectly at the same time. Laughs.
Sounds like a fun place to eat and watch the kitchen.
It was. But now, listeners, you know a lot about kitchen roles, tools, and basic cooking verbs. Great job following along so far. Now that everyone is hungry and dreaming about delicious food, let's keep building useful vocabulary. Because a restaurant kitchen is full of equipment and appliances that cooks use every single day.
Yes, and some of this vocabulary is extremely valuable for learners who want to work in a kitchen, travel, or simply watch cooking shows in English and understand what's happening.
Let's begin with some essential kitchen appliances that you'll find in most professional restaurants. We'll keep it simple, with short explanations and examples so the vocabulary really sticks.
Perfect. Here we go. Stove, the equipment used for cooking food with heat, usually with burners on top. Example, the soup is heating on the stove. Oven, a closed appliance used for baking and roasting. Example, the chef baked the bread in the oven. Grill, equipment that cooks food with direct heat from below. Example, they grilled the steak until it was medium rare.
And here are a few more. Fryer, a machine used to fry food in hot oil. Example, the restaurant uses the fryer for French fries. Microwave, heats food quickly using microwaves. Example, he warmed the sauce in the microwave. Refrigerator, also called fridge, keeps food cold. Example, store the vegetables in the fridge. Freezer, keeps food frozen. Example, the ice cream is in the freezer.
These are great basics. Now let's go one step deeper into vocabulary used specifically in restaurant kitchens. Words that intermediate English learners will love.
Yes. For example, a word that cooks use often is ingredients. Ingredients are the items or foods used to prepare a dish. Tomatoes, salt, eggs, garlic, all of these are ingredients. Example, we need fresh ingredients for the salad.
And another useful word is recipe. A recipe is a set of instructions that tells you how to prepare a dish. Example, the cook followed the recipe to make the soup.
And when cooks change a dish to suit someone's needs, they modify the order. Modify means to change something slightly. Example, can you modify the dish without cheese?
And there's a special word used when a customer wants something different from the original recipe: substitute. To substitute means to replace one ingredient with another. Example, can I substitute rice for potatoes?
Kitchens also use the phrase out of. That means something is unavailable. Example, we are out of chicken tonight.
Which is always a sad announcement. Laughs.
Very sad, especially for people like me who love chicken.
Now, let's move into another important part of kitchen vocabulary: cooking methods. These verbs show the different ways to cook food. We already introduced a few earlier, but now we'll expand the list.
Yes, these are super useful, not just for restaurant cooks, but for anyone who watches cooking shows, reads recipes, or cooks at home. Here are more cooking methods with short examples. Roast. To cook in the oven with dry heat. Example, they roasted the vegetables with olive oil. Steam. To cook with hot steam. Example, the cook steamed the broccoli. Grill. To cook with direct heat. Example, we grilled the fish on the patio.
Sauté. To cook quickly in a small amount of oil. Example, she sautéed the onions until they were golden. Boil. To cook in hot water. Example, boil the pasta for 10 minutes. Simmer. To cook in hot liquid at a lower temperature than boiling. Example, simmer the sauce for 20 minutes.
Learners, pay attention to the difference between boil and simmer. In cooking shows, you'll hear these words a lot.
If the water is moving a lot with big bubbles, it's boiling. If the water is gently moving with small bubbles, it's simmering.
Great explanation, James. Now here are two more. Bake. To cook bread, cake, or pastries in the oven. Grill. To cook with strong heat from below.
And let's not forget season, which is very important in cooking. To season means to add salt, pepper, or spices to give flavor. Example, season the chicken before cooking.
A related word is marinate. To marinate means to soak food in a mixture of ingredients like oil, lemon, garlic, herbs to add flavor before cooking. Example, marinate the meat for at least 2 hours.
Now, I want to introduce one more word that cooks love: garnish. A garnish is a small decoration added on top of a dish to make it look beautiful. Example, the chef garnished the soup with fresh herbs.
That's one of my favorite parts because the garnish makes food look fancy even if I'm just eating eggs at home. Laughs.
Now imagine this scene. The restaurant is busy, orders are coming in fast, and the kitchen needs to communicate quickly. What expressions do cooks use to manage orders? Here are some common expressions you'll hear in a restaurant kitchen. Order up means food is ready to go to the customer. On the line means the food is being prepared. All day means the total number of one item needed. Fire the order means start cooking an order.
And we need examples. Order up. Table 5 salad is ready. On the line. We have 3 burgers on the line. All day. We need 4 pasta dishes all day. Fire the order. Table 2 is seated. Fire the order.
And when the kitchen is extremely busy, someone might yell, "We're slammed," meaning there are too many orders at once.
Another good word is rush. Rush means a very busy time in the restaurant, usually lunch or dinner. Example, the lunch rush starts at 12.
Now, one thing I always found interesting when I worked in the kitchen was the difference between portion and serving. Many English learners confuse them.
Yes. So a portion is an amount of food that is usually served to one person. A serving is similar, but it can also refer to the standard measurement of food and nutrition. Example, this dish has a large portion. Example, one serving of pasta is 1 cup.
Now, let's add a fun, emotional moment. Mia, if you were a restaurant cook, what would be your signature dish?
Hmm, I think I would choose something comforting, cozy, and delicious, like a creamy mushroom pasta. I love pasta, and I feel like I would smile the entire time cooking it. Laughs.
I can see that, and I think I would go for a classic smash burger. Simple, flavorful, juicy, and fast to make.
That matches your personality. Fast, energetic, and always delivering flavor to life.
Laughs. Listeners, a signature dish means the dish a cook is famous for, their best recipe. Example, the chef's signature dish is grilled salmon.
Now, let's bring all this vocabulary to life with a short mini story. Not too long, just enough to help the new words stick naturally. Mia. It's Friday evening and the restaurant is full. The kitchen team is preparing for the dinner rush. The line cooks are setting up their stations, the prep cook is finishing the vegetables, and the grill is already hot. The first order arrives: a grilled chicken dish, a salad, and a bowl of soup. "Fire the order," the sous chef says loudly. The grill cook seasons the chicken with salt and pepper, then places it on the grill. The salad cook chops the vegetables and prepares the dressing. The soup is already simmering on the stove. "Behind! Hot pan!" someone shouts, carrying a pan to the sink. The kitchen is moving fast. The chicken is cooked perfectly, the salad is fresh and colorful, the soup is garnished with herbs. "Order up! Table 6!" The team smiles for a quick second before the next order arrives.
I felt the pressure just listening to that. Laughs.
And that was not even a busy night. That was the warm-up.
True. And listeners, that mini story included vocabulary that is commonly used in real kitchens. Hearing words used in context makes them easier to remember.
Before we move forward, let's pause for a quick review of key vocabulary introduced so far, short and easy. Kitchen roles: head chef, sous chef, line cook, prep cook, dishwasher. Equipment: stove, oven, grill, fryer, fridge, freezer. Verbs: chop, slice, fry, boil, bake, season, simmer, marinate, garnish. Expressions: order up, in the weeds, behind, fire the order, rush.
Amazing job listening and staying with us. And remember, repetition is how vocabulary becomes natural.
You are doing great. So, James, we've talked a lot about what a cook does in the kitchen, but I'm curious about something. When you go to a restaurant, do you ever think about what's happening behind the kitchen door?
Oh, absolutely. I always imagine the team working together, chopping vegetables, frying something, shouting, "Order up!" and moving fast. Sometimes I feel like the kitchen is the real heartbeat of the restaurant.
I agree. And it's not as calm as people think. A restaurant kitchen can get really intense, especially during busy hours. In English, we call that the rush or dinner rush. It's when many customers arrive at the same time and the kitchen must work fast.
Yes, the dinner rush is no joke. Imagine 15 orders at the same time, the grill full, the fryer full, and someone asking for a special dish with no salt, no oil, no garlic, and extra sauce.
That kind of customers everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's a great opportunity to use vocabulary related to a cook's daily routine. For example, cooks prep ingredients before service. Prep comes from preparation. Cooks usually prepare vegetables, sauces, meats, and other ingredients early in the day.
Right. For example, a cook might say, I need to prep the vegetables before lunch service. And when the kitchen starts cooking dishes during business hours, we call that service. So they prep before service and then they cook during service.
And there's also the word station. A station is a work area in the kitchen with a specific job. For example, the grill station, the salad station, the dessert station, or the fry station. A cook usually works at one station during a shift.
Yes, like, I'm on the grill station today. Or, can you cover the salad station for me? And speaking of stations, one important cooking technique is plating. Plating means arranging the food nicely on the plate before serving it, because presentation matters, right?
Definitely. People eat with their eyes first, and cooks know that a beautiful plate can make the food taste even better. And after plating, the cook places the dish in the pass. The pass is the area where the food is placed for the server to pick up and take to the customers.
Exactly. And sometimes the head cook or chef checks the dish at the pass to make sure everything looks perfect. Now, since we're talking about a cook's daily life, we should mention some common cooking methods or techniques. Let's introduce a few useful ones.
Great idea. Let's choose a few that are common in restaurant kitchens. Grill, fry, boil, bake, roast, and sauté. These are very helpful for English learners who love cooking.
Yes. Let's give short examples. Grill means cooking food on a grill with heat from below, like grilled chicken. Fry means cooking food in hot oil, like French fries. Boil means cooking something in hot water, like boiled pasta.
Bake is usually done in an oven, like baked bread or baked cookies. Roast is also in the oven, but usually for meat or vegetables, like roasted chicken or roasted potatoes. And sauté means cooking food quickly in a small amount of oil in a pan, like sautéed vegetables.
Those are great. And kitchen communication is also important. In a restaurant kitchen, cooks speak fast and use short expressions to avoid confusion. For example, behind means someone is behind you, so you don't turn and crash into them.
Yes, behind is a very common word. And hot, when someone is carrying something hot, like a pan. Sharp, when they're walking with a knife. And corner, when turning around a corner. These words prevent accidents.
You might also hear fire table 4, which means start cooking for table number 4. And when the dish is ready, someone might say, order up, to tell the server the food is ready to go.
Now, let's talk about kitchen equipment because cooks use many tools every day. Some common equipment includes a stove, oven, grill, fryer, cutting board, and knife. A cook's knife is one of the most important tools they own.
That's true. Many cooks have their own set of knives and take them very seriously. They keep them sharp and clean. A good knife can make the job easier and faster. And of course, there's also the saucepan and frying pan. A saucepan is good for soups and sauces, and a frying pan is good for sautéing or frying.
And don't forget the ladle, used for serving soups or sauces, and the spatula, used for flipping or stirring food. There's also the whisk, used to mix or add air to ingredients like eggs or cream, and the thermometer, to check if food is cooked to a safe temperature.
Very important topic. Food safety. Cooks must follow safety rules. For example, washing hands often, using gloves, keeping raw meat separate from vegetables, and cooking food to the correct temperature.
Yes, food safety is essential. Many restaurants follow strict rules to keep food fresh and safe. Another word is cleaning as you go, which means cleaning your station while working so the kitchen stays organized.
That's a great habit. If you wait until the end, the mess becomes a mountain. Better to clean as you go. Now, Mia, if you worked as a cook for one day, which station would you choose?
Oh, I think I would choose the dessert station. Sweet, calm, beautiful, and maybe less stress. What about you?
I would go for the grill station. I like cooking meat and vegetables on the grill. The smell, the sound, the sizzle. I love it.
Yes, the grill has personality. And I think our listeners are learning a lot of restaurant vocabulary today. Should we quickly go over some of the key words we mentioned?
Yes, let's do a short recap so they can remember. Prep, service, station, plating, the pass, grill, fry, boil, bake, roast, sauté, behind, hot, sharp, order up, stove, oven, grill, fryer, cutting board, knife, saucepan, frying pan, ladle, spatula, whisk, thermometer, and cleaning as you go.
Perfect. And now, before we wrap up, if you enjoyed this episode, please follow or subscribe, leave a like, and share this podcast with someone learning English. And tell us in the comments which job you want us to talk about next.
Your support helps us reach more learners around the world. Thank you for listening, and we can't wait to see you in the next episode.